Hello and welcome to the David Kurten Show on today's News Talk TNT. Now, our unelected Foreign Secretary, David Cameron, is on a jolly to the United States at the moment. And he's going to be meeting some people in the Biden regime, such as Antony Blinken, and he's going to talk about the situation in Ukraine and the situation in Gaza and Israel there as well. Now, even David Cameron is saying that what happened to the aid workers in Gaza is unacceptable. And he is known as a war hawk. He started the bombing campaign in Libya when he was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in 2012, or certainly supported that and allowed British involvement in that, which led to the horrible ongoing situation in Syria and Iraq for many, many years after them. But even he is then saying that Israel has gone too far, although he still supports giving weapons to Israel because Israel has the right to defend itself, as is the mantra which is spoken by many, many people in governments in the collective West. I don't agree. I think there needs to be an immediate permanent ceasefire, but that's not what they're calling for. David Cameron is also going to meet Donald Trump, which is a very, very interesting state of affairs. He's going to fly down to Mar-a-Lago. I think he's already there in Florida. Donald Trump's pad there. Well, it's more than a pad. I think it's one of the most luxurious houses in the United States. I don't know why on earth Donald Trump is going to receive him, because when David Cameron was Prime Minister, he referred to Donald Trump as divisive, stupid, wrong, protectionist, xenophobic, and misogynist, among other things. You know, if someone had said that about me, I wouldn't let them into my house. But there we go. Donald Trump seems to be very gracious at the moment, allowing David Cameron to go over there. Obviously, the situation is Donald Trump may well be president again, the actual president again from November when the elections happen in the United States. And David Cameron is masquerading as someone who is powerful and important, even though he's unelected. He is taken note of by the world's media and press because he has that position. Now, what he's there for is to try to persuade Donald Trump to unblock a massive aid package to Ukraine, which is stuck in Congress in the United States at the moment. Now, however much aid that we've given to Ukraine in the UK, which is a huge amount, £5 billion given or pledged over the last couple of years. What the United States has given completely overshadows that by a whole order of magnitude. I think so far they've given over $100 billion, and there's a $60 billion new aid package to Ukraine, which is going to supply weapons and money to keep the country going, because essentially the country's economy is a complete basket case. But that's stuck up in Congress at the moment. It's passed through Senate. The Senate has agreed to it, but there are some Republicans who are blocking its progress and saying quite rightly, this is American taxpayers' money. It should be spent in America. And I would echo that here in the United Kingdom. And I think anybody who cares for their country, whether it's the US, the UK, Germany, wherever, would say, look, taxpayers' money should be used to provide public services and benefit the country of our origin, not be sent to escalate and continue wars and conflicts and tensions in other parts of the world. So it's held up. And I think Mike Johnson is the leader of the House of Representatives. Cameron is going to try to put pressure on Trump, to put pressure on Mike Johnson to unblock the aid package and send $60 billion of American taxpayers' money to Ukraine to keep the conflict going, which will mean more dead Ukrainians and more dead Russians and more money for the American military industrial complex, weapons manufacturers and their shareholders. The whole thing is a sham based on debt and death, and it shouldn't be continued. Trump, I very much doubt he's going to entertain Cameron's a proposal, if that's actually what he is proposing, probably is, because Trump's policies put America first. And I would agree with implementing them in the UK as well, in reflecting what he's saying. America should control its southern border before giving any money to Ukraine. It should reduce immigration. He also wants to put tariffs on China and Mexico to protect American jobs and the American manufacturing industry. He would come out of the Paris Climate Agreement, put aside all of the nonsense of climate alarmism, and start to drill for oil and extract gas out of the abundant oil and gas reserves that the United States has, which would again provide them with domestic, cheap, reliable energy to power their economy, create jobs, and provide prosperity in the country, something that under the Biden regime has completely gone out of the window. And I would say we need to do exactly the same in the UK as well. Control our borders, extract our own energy, provide cheap, reliable energy for our houses and businesses, and protect our own manufacturing industry, not by going into all kinds of trade agreements which harm our own industries. Trade agreements are good if they're mutually beneficial, but they're not good if you harm yourself by doing them. And I think that's something that Trump understands more than any of the idiots we have in any of the political parties in Parliament in the UK and most of the people in Congress in the United States, apart from those few who are stopping American money going to Ukraine at the moment. This is today's News Talk, TNT.
The latest headlines waiting for you.
I follow the news pretty much throughout the day.
Today's News Talk Radio, TNT.